Let me grab some water. I'm really excited about these next two reviews that I have. They are both animated films. Both stop motion, both from very acclaimed directors kind of coming back into their own fold and doing something that we wanted to see from them. I'm going to talk about the first one, which is Wendell and Wild, which, if you haven't heard about this film, it's a Netflix film. It is a stop-motion animated horror comedy directed by Henry Selick and featuring a screenplay written by, get ready for this, Henry Selick and Jordan Peele. It is produced by Peele and features the vocal performances of Keegan and Peele, two of my favorite comedian guys ever. I think Keegan and Peele is so funny. Henry Selick, if you don't know who he is, he's the guy who directed The Nightmare Before Christmas. He did James and the Giant Peach. He did films such as... Coraline. They're going to be talking about him on the Blank Check podcast, so I've been going back and watching a lot of his movies. I really love his style. I really love the tone, the craftsmanship in this movie. And all of his movies is very impressive, and that's no difference in this movie. This is a movie that he teamed up with Netflix to make this movie, and it's a movie that is made for me to love. The issue is... I didn't love this movie. I'm really sad to say that I found this movie to be a bit of a disappointment. And I just want to get some of the obvious stuff out of the way about this movie. The animation is beautiful. There is so much craftsmanship in this film. It's pretty astonishing to watch. Like, everything just feels so effortful in just a wonderful way. The world feels so alive. It's such a gothic scenery, and the sensibilities of it I love. Key and Peele are crazy funny in this movie, just absolutely great, and they are just this is all a given for this film. This is like if you had told me that Key and Peele were going to be funny in a Henry Selick film that was beautiful to look at, that's like, okay, now what else does this film have to offer? And that's the thing, it doesn't have much else to offer, in my opinion. I didn't love the story, and that's my biggest thing. It's very convoluted, and let me just explain the story to you real quick. The film follows Kat, a young girl who blames herself for her parents' death. She becomes a juvenile delinquent who is accepted into a Catholic boarding school. Meanwhile, Key and Peele voice Wendell and Wild, two mischievous demons who dream of making an amusement park for the dead. Eventually, Wendell and Wild make their way into Kat's dream after being accidentally summoned and make a deal with her that they can bring back Kat's parent if she summons them to Earth. This film features a lot of supernatural rituals, items, zombie councils, just too much world building almost. Like, the mythology of this film becomes very confusing and very convoluted very quick. Thus, I found myself lost in this film. I'm just wondering, like, wait, what's going on? What happened? Like, where are we? Like, what is this story? And it becomes so more complicated when ultimately the story is about Kat. The story should be about Kat overcoming the loss of her parents and kind of accepting not to blame herself. And that is what this film is about ultimately. It's just that it has about 10 other ideas within it that really muddle it. And it just, in that way, it just failed for me. Like, this film is very much not a bad film. I can recommend this film ultimately just because of the craftsmanship in this film and the brilliance of the comedic timing in this film and the look at this film, but ultimately it's just way too convoluted for its own mess. And it's just like, you really feel a director coming into his own in the sense that he's being told, like, no one's telling him no. And the issue is he throws every sensibility he's ever had on screen in this movie, and it's just too much. It's literal overload for this movie, and I'm just left sitting here like, I really want to like this movie. It has all the things that I want to love about a movie, but ultimately I'm just not buying into this movie because I'm ultimately more lost than I am like enjoying the movie, and I have to think and I have to be like, so wait, what happened? How does that make sense? Where is it connecting? Who is this person? What's this whole thing with the demons, the summoning? What's this item? What's the importance of this item? Oh, what's this? Who are these characters? It's just so much overload that it never connected to me, and ultimately Wendell was a big disappointment for me. I really wanted to love this film. I didn't. I have to give it 2 out of 4 stars. Really sad for me. I really wanted to like Henry Selick's new film, but ultimately it looks like I'm just going to be doomed to repeat Coraline, which Coraline's fucking awesome. Coraline's an awesome movie. I really love Coraline, so it's sick that I got that movie to latch onto as well as Nightmare Before Christmas. It's the season, so I'll be watching both of those movies. But yeah, Wendell and Wild didn't work for me in any particular meaningful way. So I guess I'm just going to rewatch Coraline for the upteenth time.